and welcome to episode 113, I think, of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I'm excited to be back with you guys this week for another podcast episode. I forgot to check what number we're on before I started filming. I think it's episode 113, but if I'm incorrect, it'll be correct in the title, so we'll figure it out one way or another. But yes, I have some exciting things to talk about today. I will say that it's pretty much the same projects as last week. I spent so much time this week on one project in particular, and then some future designs that I'm going to talk about in a little while as well. So time was spent on a lot of different things this week and not so much on starting new things. But that will most likely be different next week, which I'm really excited about as well. But yeah, so let's get into the episode. Today is July 10th, Sunday, July 10th. Tomorrow is my brother's 16th birthday, which is absolutely insane. So that's why I know the date right off the top of my head. Let's just be quite honest. It is a cloudy day outside, cloudy and overcast, which means for a few more shadows than usual. So apologies for that, but this is quite literally the only time I have to film, so we're just going to go ahead and do it anyways. As always, you can find links to the show notes and a bunch of other stuff down in the description box below. Social media platforms, Make-A-Long information, Facebook groups, so much stuff is down there, so be sure to check it out. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. I would love to have you in this community, and I'm so happy that you are here. So without further ado, I do not have any finished objects this week that aren't designs. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple of works in progress. Alrighty, so just like last week, I have two works in progress that I have put a little bit of work into this week. The first is my cotton scrappy blanket. So I recently finished my kind of worsted weight acrylic themed scrappy blanket. I am now working on the cotton one. This also is primarily worsted weight. It kind of varies here and there. Like there's a couple of DK weights in there. There will be more DK weights as I go along. But for the most part, it's worsted weight. I'm using the granny stripe stitch, which is one of my absolute favorites. It's so mindless and fun to do. And I really like just the overall look of a blanket like this. And it's just kind of more airy. It works really well for where I live. So anyway, here's what it currently looks like. It is growing slowly but surely. I kind of talked about last week, I think, how my goal is to work on it for about 20 to 30 minutes a day and just kind of see how long it takes me to finish it. That didn't really work this week. Again, I spent so much time on one specific project that I did not have any time at all to work on this one. So I think there was like one day when I did it for like 20 minutes, and then yesterday, Saturday, I worked on it for a little bit as well. Mainly just to kind of get to a stop in place for filming purposes. But I did do a little bit of work on it. I think this marker is where it was last week. So, 6, 8 rows, something like that. Nothing major, but still progress nonetheless. I'm hoping to have more progress to show next week for sure. I finished a really huge project, so I'm going to have more time to work on other things, of course, and this is definitely going to be one of them. But I'm absolutely loving it. This weekend, yesterday, I actually went through all of my scrap yarn and like really pared it down, kind of only kept things that I was really planning on using in like a future blanket or project or something. And I have a bin here of all of my cotton scraps. So it is completely full. These are all cotton yarns that either aren't enough for a project on their own, or I just don't want to use them for a project on their own. And they are all going to go into this blanket. So I'm hoping that I can use like all of these scraps and then have it kind of timed perfectly so that the blanket is done at that point. I don't know if it's going to work out, that in that ideal of a sense, but that is definitely the hope right now. So anyways, here's all the cotton yarn in one basket. At least it's, nice and secure, well, semi-secure and contained. It's nice that it is contained. And all there. Like, it's just easier to, grab a ball and work on it without having to dig or something. I'm also not paying a whole lot of attention color-wise. Like, I don't know. I mean, I might not intentionally put two pinks right beside each other, but I just love the, like, random look of scrappy blankets. It's kind of one of the things that I love the most about them. So, for that reason, I'm not really being particular about colors or anything like that. So anyway, it's going great. I'm loving it. It's been very fun to work on. And I'm excited to work on it more as time goes on, for sure. Okay, and then my next work in progress is the baby blanket that I'm currently working on. I was honestly hoping to have this done this week, but again, it just didn't quite happen. This week was crazy. But I have made a good bit of progress, and it will definitely be done this coming week, and it is just such a sweet little project, and I'm enjoying it so very much. So this blanket is for a friends through church that are having their first baby very, very soon, actually, honestly, sooner than I thought. I kind of wish I had made this already and given it to her, but that's okay. Anyway, I'm loving it. It's going to completely blur out the camera, so my apologies for that, but I'm just going to hold it up one good time for you to see it. But here's what it currently looks like. So I'm doing it corner to corner style. I started on this corner, and then I increased until I used one skein of yarn, almost a full skein. I had 2 skeins of this yarn. I believe it's Bonat blanket something. I don't know what the label is, so my apologies for that. But I did talk about it last week, so if you want to get exactly what yarn this is, watch last week's episode because I did go into more detail. But anyway, so I increased for 1 skein, and now I am decreasing, and I have this many stitches left to decrease. So not that much at all. It's going faster and faster because the rows are getting shorter and shorter, which is definitely the best part of a corner to corner blanket. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So my plan is to finish it and then hopefully have enough yarn, hopefully just enough to do a single crochet border around the entire thing. It doesn't have to have it. I don't dislike the edge right now, but I would like to just kind of finish it all off with a single crochet border. I think it would look really nice. If I don't have enough yarn, I will probably debate using like another bulky yarn or even a worsted weight yarn, like a gray or something, and doing a border that way. We'll just kind of see, but that is the hope right now. I'm excited to finish it. I honestly don't know if I'll share it on the podcast again. It kind of depends on when I finish it and when I'm able to film, but I will definitely get some pictures, and I'll post them in the episode next week if I don't have it to show then. In terms of a pattern, I am actually using my Rhythm Dishcloth pattern and just modifying it to be much larger, obviously, into a baby blanket. And it's going so great. I am enjoying it so much. It's very easy to make that modification in the pattern. I have it listed how to do it, again, in the pattern itself. So you can find that for free on the blog or as a PDF on Ravelry and Etsy, whichever method that you choose. I actually also have a video tutorial here on YouTube for that Rhythm Dishcloth pattern. So I will link that down below if you want to check it out. The video also goes into detail on how you can increase or decrease the size of it as well. So anyways, that is it for works in progress, just those 2 things. Hopefully I will have some new things added to show next week. I think I will. I am itching, like I kind of, not reorganized, but just like straightened up my yarn shelves yesterday and was able to kind of like, pare down a little bit, plan some projects with the yarn that I really want to use sooner rather than later. And so I'm really excited to get started on those. I am like thriving on the blanket making right now. Like I am so excited about all of the blankets. Really bad time of year to be feeling that way, I think, but I'm just gonna go with it and make a whole bunch of blankets because that's what I'm really enjoying right now. But anyway, that is it for whips. I do have one really big design to show, so let's talk about it. Okay, so this project definitely got so much work and attention this week. In like every spare minute I had when I wasn't doing school or working, I was working on this blanket. But it is done just in the nick of time. I actually have a couple of ends to weave in, so it's not 100% complete. But this is the blanket that I made my brother for his birthday tomorrow. Oh my goodness, guys, I cannot wait to give it to him. I'm so excited. I love, love, love making handmade gifts. I've talked about it before. It is just such a beautiful way for me to show that I care about somebody, is to make them something, and just thinking about that person while I am making that project, and like every little detail is thought of with them in mind. Yeah, it is so, so special. So anyways, I finished this blanket. It is big. It is huge. It is about 50 inches wide by 60 inches long. I am 5'1", so it is almost exactly my height, possibly a little bit taller than me, actually. He is obviously significantly taller than me, but I didn't want it to be too big. I want it to be easy to, transport, easy to wash, easy to just throw on his bed, because that's where it's going to live, that's where he's going to use it. And so I think it just made sense for it to be this size, and it is also my favorite size of blanket to make. Like, just to knit on, to crochet on, I really like 50 by 60 inches. It just works well. Yeah, so this is going to be called the Striker Blanket. I have a pair of socks available for purchase in my shops that use this same stitch pattern. So if you are looking to kind of try out the stitch pattern before you launch into a full big blanket, definitely check out that pattern. I really like that sock design, but this uses worsted weight yarn. I use Knit Picks Guava. I actually have a skein to show, a new skein. But yes, I used Knit Picks Guava worsted, Guava tweed in the colorway Stratus. And I love it. I think it's a really nice looking gray. I think it's going to be perfect. It's going to last a while. It's not going to show, dirt super easily, but it's also machine washable and dryable because it's acrylic. So I love it. I love how it turned out. Again, it was just a pure joy to make. It was so much fun. I made it pretty quickly, all things considered, which, I had to if I wanted to make this deadline. But, yeah, I am really, really excited about it. So, I hope he loves it. He has seen me making it start to finish, pretty much. He just doesn't know that it's for him. So, unless he's watched my videos, which I don't really think about, but I don't think he has. Anyway, I love it. It turned out so great. And yeah, that is a huge project off my needles. So that is definitely where most of my time went into this week. I am also, so this past week I finished up some pattern submissions for Knit Picks. They had a call recently, and so I did like swatches and planned some designs and made those submission forms and then submitted those. So those took quite a while to complete as well, and I can't really talk about it outside of saying that I did it. Like, I can't show swatches or anything because I don't know if they accept it or not. I won't know until this coming Friday, so July 15th, I think, might be that date, which means, I'm going to be nervous up until that date because that's how my mind works, but we'll see. It's not in my hands now, but I'm super proud of those ideas, and I definitely plan to use them on my own, even if they weren't accepted by Knit Picks, but we're still hoping they're accepted. I hope so. Also, this isn't really design related, but I thought I would go ahead and show it. So through Instagram recently, a wonderful lady that I now have the pleasure of following and just kind of knowing through Instagram, Lisa, she is the author of this book and wanted to send me a copy. So I obviously said yes very eagerly, and I wanted to share it on the podcast in case you guys want to check it out as well. I have not read it cover to cover or anything yet. There's a lot of patterns in here, and I'm so excited to dive into it and choose a couple to make. But it's called Knit, Pray, Share. Over 50 creative projects you can make to bless others. So I just love the message of this book. I highly recommend it, of course. I am so grateful to have the opportunity to own it and to look through it, and again to choose a couple of things to make from it. There are so many projects in here. So many. Let me see if I can find one to just show you kind of randomly. There's a bottle cozy. I really like the look of that. Here's what that looks like. So bottle cozy. It's like very, not random, but like very diverse projects. So there's knitting projects, crochet, other yarn art. There's a really cute basket. She called it cell phone basket. I think it could also be used for other like miscellaneous items, but that is super duper cute. I might be making that. Blessing bowl. It looks like it might be felted. Rug pattern. Felted pan sleeve and trivet. That looks really cute. So anyways, just so many fun projects in here. Oh, I saw a pair of socks. Now I want to get a closer look at those. Oh, I see a mop pad too. I should actually make that. The family I sit for has mops similar to that. There's a mop pad. Oh, dust mop cloths is what she calls them. I saw a pair of socks, and I want to see if I can get, yeah, Look at those socks. Those are so cute. Tube socks. So these would be super easy to make. If you're a beginner knitter, that would be such a fun project. So, anyways, lots of amazing projects. I am just really grateful, again, to own the book. So definitely check it out if you're interested. I think it has such a beautiful message, and yeah, super exciting little way to connect. Instagram is just continuing to blow my mind. Just the connections that you can make through one app is really, really amazing. So anyways, that is it for all of the knitting and crochet content for this episode. I do have a little devotional and then of course a life update that I would love to chat with you for a few minutes about, so I hope you stick around for that. So for devotional today, I wanted to talk about a post that I saw through Instagram that just really stuck out to me and kind of hit home in the season of life that I'm in, and I know a season of life that many of us are probably in similar ways or very different ways. But it was a quote from somebody. I don't know who actually said the quote itself, but the Porch is the Instagram page that I was following. So it is a Christian community that's based in Texas, but they have other locations kind of in the Midwest area as well. Not here, unfortunately, but they have a YouTube channel that they like stream their, I don't know what that word is. They meet on Tuesdays, so they kind of stream that service, and then they have like a whole bunch of other videos and sermons and things like that through their YouTube channel as well, and then of course their Instagram platform as well. So anyways, I have just been so encouraged by following them. John, is that his name? JP is what he goes by. Jonathan Pokluda. I read a book by him called Outdated very recently. And I talked about it here on the podcast a little bit, but I have learned so much through him in the past few weeks, and so it's really cool to just be able to follow, you know, his account and the Porch's account through Instagram. It just kind of gives some light and truth into the feed that we see on a daily basis. But anyway, there was this one specific quote and a post that they made that was highlighting the four, I want to get the title right, 4 key truths of stress. One of the little pictures, and it's called a carousel where there's like multiple pictures in one post. But one of the pictures said, quote, "At the root of your stress is a lack of control." At the root of your stress is a lack of control. And I, like, that just truly hit home. And I think when I think about stress and other topics too, like perfectionism and, you know, specific pride even, like specific struggles that are so common and very real. Like, it's very easy to be stressed out. Life is hard. It's easy to just struggle in particular, and that's okay. But I think with all of those traits, all of those emotions and feelings that we sometimes experience, they're all rooted in a lack of submission to our Father. And that's not because, you know, we're not partially submitted. Like, I am submitted to Him, but am I completely and totally submitted and immersed in Him and His love and His grace and His compassion if I'm stressed? Because if I'm stressed, then that's showing that I'm not giving Him my all. I'm not giving Him all of my anxieties and fear and doubts and worry and concern about whatever might be going on, whether it's a school assignment that's super stressful or something going on in my personal life that's hard to navigate, or a work thing. Like, there can be endless applications, but the root of all of that is a lack of control and a lack of complete and total submission to Him. So I just wanted to encourage you with that. Like, if you are struggling with stress, if you have struggled with stress or any other big emotion like that, give it all to Him, because that's what we're called to do. You're still going to experience it. Like, it's still going to be there. It's going to be, in my opinion, at least for me, it's going to be a daily battle with promised trials. We're going to experience hard things in this life, but that doesn't mean that those things have to pull us away from our Father or that have to keep us separated from Him. We're called to be one with Him, and so we should strive to give Him everything that's in us should be given to Him, because that's what He is designed to handle, and what we are designed to do as His followers and as humans in general. We're called to be dependent on Him. Anyway, that just really stuck out to me, and I wanted to kind of use it as a way to encourage y'all. It is hard, for sure. I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to all of you guys, but it's how it's supposed to be, and so that's how I want to make it want to make a theme. That's what I want to work towards. On that note, this week has been quite crazy. School, obviously, this semester, it is my last semester of college. I graduate in August. I graduate in like 5 weeks now, which is just bonkers and kind of terrifying because so much has to happen. So much has to happen before that. But yeah, I graduate mid-August. It is actually almost exactly a month from when I graduate, so I guess a little bit less than 5 weeks. So terrifying, but anyway, yeah, it has just been a wild semester. I'm only taking 2 classes, but they are 2 very difficult classes. And it's like, you know, as soon as I complete one assignment or feel like I understand something, it's time for the next assignment that I don't understand, or a roadblock in terms of the, like, a technology, wow, I can't say that word apparently, a block within the technology of, like, a software. And anyway, it is just very overwhelming. It's been an overwhelming semester, but it's also been really good. It's been really special to just kind of see it all come to an end. You know, this is my 6th semester of college. I'm in community college, so it's only roughly a 2-year program. And it has been a wild ride. Nothing in my college experience has looked like I thought or even hoped that it would. But it's still been good, and when it wasn't good, it was still beneficial, and I've still learned from it. So, anyway, and then work has also been crazy. Very long week, but still, again, very, very good. So, in the midst of hard things, in the midst of things that we're struggling with, there's still so much good. And I encourage you to find that every chance that you get. Seek it and find it, because the little moments are closer together than we think they are, I think. And life is beautiful. Amidst the hard things, life can be beautiful. So, thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope that you are having a making-filled week. I hope that I am going to have a making-filled week as well. Time will tell. We have a birthday to celebrate and work to be done and school to be done. I am hopeful for a good week for sure. But thank you so much for watching this episode. If you haven't already subscribed, please be sure to do so. And then check out all of the links in the description box below. Thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful for you, and I hope that you have an amazing week. See you next time. Bye.